Welcome to Furious Fiction. I'm Jules Graham, and with me is Mark Mustian. And who are we interviewing today?
We have Robert Rodi with us from Chicago. Welcome, Robert. And he's a really hard guy to classify. He's a writer and a musician. He does comic books. He's written nonfiction. He's written quite a bit of fiction. Baby is the fiction that Jules and I have both read, which was kind of a wild book. So Robert, we're glad to have you with us.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Jules.
Robert, Baby's pretty dark. It's a pretty dark book. Tell me just a little bit, where did that come from?
When I first started writing fiction, I was writing social satires, gay comedies. I wanted to do something a little bit weightier. I was particularly influenced by Alfred Hitchcock, by the way he brought a sort of mordant wit to very macabre subjects. I wanted to see if I could do that.
I think you did. I think you did it very well.
It should be terrifying and funny.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask you, and without offending you or anything, that a lot of your early books were kind of overtly gay oriented. And do you see yourself as a gay writer, or do you run from that, or do you not care one way or the other, or kind of what's your take on that whole thing?
Well, when I was younger then, first of all. I'm older now. When you get older, I feel uncomfortable anytime middle-aged men are still all exercised about their sexuality. But also, when I first started writing those books in the 90s, there was no other place to find gay stories. You had to read gay fiction in books. Now, of course, you've got TVs, movies, plays. Everywhere you look, there are gay stories. So I don't have as great a sense of obligation as I used to. I'm free to explore other things now.
But your tongue is so sharp when you write. I mean, in this book,
Thank you.
I have to ask you, do you have a sister?
I have 3 sisters and 2 brothers.
How did they feel? How did your 3 sisters combined feel about the way you portray your sisters are such a hoarder and such a mess?
Well, I think if you talk to writers, you talk to writers all the time, they'll probably tell you, I have a large family, I love them, they never read anything I do.
Understood.
Well, tell us about the comic books. I'm kind of curious, how did you get into that, and are you still doing that? What's that all about?
I started doing that, a friend of mine, Phil Jimenez, is a comic book artist, and he invited me to collaborate with the story. For a story with him, and that led to an ongoing series that I created myself called Codename Knockout, which ran for 2 years. And then I got involved in doing superheroes at Marvel. It was a lot of fun. I still do it occasionally. Now I'm going back to doing more series that I create myself. I want to rebrand myself as a historical action adventure guy. So I'm working in that vein. There will be some projects announced soon.
Well, Robert, as a historical action adventure guy, very good luck. I look forward to reading your next thing. Thank you for being on Furious Fiction, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Robert. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark.